Speaking at a press brief on Tuesday, Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell underscored the critical importance of addressing the Molinere landslip, part of the Western Corridor project. This major road rehabilitation project is one of two for which grant funding was secured.
Well, the Molinere project is and when you say Molinere, we talk about the landslip, yes? Right, so the landslip is a very distinct project, because if we don't fix the Molinere landslip and get a road, effectively there's no Western Main Road, there's no Western Corridor. You're either going to have to go through Mount Parnassus, Mount Moritz, as we're currently going, which is dangerous and really only meant for one-way traffic. That's not sustainable. Or you can go through the bypass that we recently built, which is Mount Kumar, which is obviously significantly longer, and also has some disadvantages because people living close to the Molinere area obviously then don't have bus access. So we're committed to solving the Molinere landslip, because if you don't have that, you literally cannot do anything in terms of improvement to the Western Main Road.
Since the start of construction at the Molinere landslip site, engineers have been trying to stabilize the area. When the grant was initially approved in 2016, there was no landslips. The Prime Minister said now there are additional costs that will have to be catered for.
It's a challenging site. The rock surface, some of it is not even rock, is very unstable. If you go there, you can actually stand and see the soil constantly falling. So we have to sort this issue out. When we sort this issue out, then we can think of the larger Western Main Road corridor, which is why once it became clear to us that we obviously were attempting to keep the grant funding in place, that our focus should really be on the water expansion project, because there was no impediments to solving that. When the UKSIF grant was made available for the Western Main Road, there was no Molinere landslip, I think, at the time. And so obviously it was granted and agreed on the assumption that we were just going to do the normal works along the Western Main Road. And since the Molinere landslip, that's an additional part of it that is distinct and separate, that we locally funding to make sure that we can get it done.
Meanwhile, Cuban engineers are presently on island reviewing Grenada's road infrastructure. Prime Minister Mitchell provided insight into their mission.
And they've already begun working earnestly. They are involved in a number of road projects, reviewing all our bridges. We intend to do capital works on the Woburn to Cliff road. I think you've already seen signs up asking heavier vehicles and heavy trucks not to traverse the area, because it's obviously going to lead to further deterioration of the road, as well as it's frankly dangerous, because there's some parts where two vehicles simply can't pass. So they've been involved in looking at it.
The initial design for the road network, he added, did not entail certain necessary features, which upon review have been deemed necessary for a better outcome.
We had, upon assuming office, designs had already been done for the road. We reviewed designs, we were not satisfied with them. It did not involve widening of the road. It did not involve straightening of the road. There were no sidewalks. In effect, the work was simply to do some retaining walls and repave the road. And there's no way I'm going to preside over a situation where if the road could be widened, we are not widening it. If it could be straightened, we are not straightening it. And if we can put pavements for pedestrians to walk, especially in a residential neighborhood, that we should spend millions of dollars and end up with the same road with no significant improvement to it.
Christina